Welcome to Medical Edge. My name is Todd Barnes. This program is produced as a partnership between the Mayo Clinic and the City of Thornton. We hope every episode provides valuable health information for you and your family.
The idea of an artificial liver has been around for 50 years. The BioArtificial Liver, which means there are living cells in the device, has been a concept since 1987.
It's now a concept that's proven to work, according to a new study just published in the Journal of Hepatology. Dr. Scott Nyberg is director of the liver program at the Mayo Clinic Center for Regenerative Medicine and head of Mayo's Artificial Liver program. He and his team have successfully demonstrated their system on pigs with acute liver failure.
In the treatment group, all of the animals survived the therapy. We're up walking around with recovered livers at the end of the study.
During liver failure, ammonia builds up in the bloodstream, causing the brain to swell and other organs to begin to fail. Much like a patient with kidney failure, excess wastes in the blood become toxic.
If you think about kidney dialysis, this is dialysis for liver disease. The liver is more complicated. It actually does metabolic activities. It detoxifies wastes, it synthesizes proteins.
Which is why a bioartificial liver incorporates living cells, in this case from pig livers, to carry out such vital functions for a patient.
A pig this size, we hope we'll get about 200 grams of hepatocytes or more.
Hepatocytes are the liver's primary workhorse cells. Each gram contains about 1.5 billion of them. Engineering advances in Dr. Nyberg's lab allow very large, concentrated doses of hepatocytes to be collected and processed for use.
They rock at a slow rate, and overnight the hepatocytes will start sticking to each other, form aggregates,
essentially forming clusters of 50 to 150 fully functional cells called spheroids.
As long as we keep them warm and fed and pH controlled, we can keep them around for days or weeks.
The spheroids are loaded into a contained chamber. Using high-tech filters, the bioartificial liver routes the patient's blood fluids past the spheroids for processing. As a transplant surgeon, Dr. Nyberg sees how artificial liver therapy could be a solution to the donor organ shortage in some cases. For example, he estimates at least 25 to 50% of acute liver failure patients could recover if only they had time.
And if we could temporarily support them while their liver regenerates and heals, we could avoid a liver transplant. So that would be a huge savings of both an organ that could be used for somebody else and avoid a transplant and lifelong immunosuppression for those patients.
The first human clinical trial could begin as early as next year. For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Dennis Doda.
Hey Julie?
Yeah.
We're turning this on now, okay?
Yeah.
Let me know when you just start to feel it.
This is a big day for Julie Williams. Pain medicine specialist Dr. David Mock is implanting a device into her spine. The goal is to reduce chronic, debilitating pain.
I'd had a back surgery when I was 25 for a disc, and I had pain down my left leg at that time.
The pain went away until about a year ago.
It was down my left leg into my left foot, and it was, gosh, sometimes 9 out of 10, burning, mainly a burning pain.
Julie's pain got so bad it interfered with work as a physician's assistant. Medication only masked it. The pain was wrecking her quality of life.
So this is what a device might look like.
Dr. Mock says the spine stimulator emits electrical impulses.
Think of it as a pacemaker for the spine is probably the simplest way to look at that.
During the procedure, he and his team first place a temporary device at the level of the spinal cord where the nerves are that generate the pain. It gives off small electrical signals that mute what patients feel. Instead of pain, they feel a pleasant buzzing sensation in the affected area.
Where do you feel that?
To make sure it's in the right place, the surgical team briefly wakes up the patient.
They woke me up, and I could feel that it was affecting the area that was painful, and so then they sewed up the incisions and took me to the recovery room.
If they get good relief, and that typically means 50 to 80% improvement, Then we can come back at a later date and put this in permanently.
Can I talk to you about a patient?
Sure.
Julie has had her permanent device implanted for some time now, and she says she feels great.
And honestly, it's so weird because I forget about it. I forgot how bad the pain is, and then all of a sudden I'll remember, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I'm not just saying this for the camera, it's the truth.
Julie still feels pain sometimes in her hip or leg, but it is much, much less than what she experienced before. And if it bothers her, she can turn up the amount of stimulation, which decreases the pain.
I'd say between 80 and 90% of the pain is gone.
Now she's back at work and back at life. For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Vivian Williams.
That's all for this episode of Medical Edge. To learn more about the stories featured on this program, you can find additional resources by visiting our website and following the link to the Mayo Clinic. Thanks for watching, and be sure to watch the next episode of Medical Edge.